Hockey legend Bobby Hull diagnosed with CTE posthumously, widow confirms. Bobby Hull, legendary Chicago Blackhawks left wing and Hockey Hall of Famer, was diagnosed with chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, after his death, his widow Deborah Hull revealed on Wednesday. His diagnosis places him among a growing number of former NHL players who have been afflicted with the neurodegenerative condition linked to repeated head trauma. Hull passed away on January 30, 2023, at the age of 84. Deborah Hull shared that her husband had stage 2 CTE, a finding confirmed by research conducted at Boston University's CTE Center. His decision to donate his brain for scientific study was influenced by the decline of his former Blackhawks teammate Stan Mikita, who also had CTE and died in 2018. Seeing the pain and heartache suffered by his lifetime friend Stan Mikita's family, Bobby felt strongly no other family should have to endure CTE, Deborah Hull said in her statement, as reported by Reuters. He insisted on donating his brain, feeling as though it was his duty to help advance research on this agonizing disease. Hull's hockey career and legacy, nicknamed the Golden Jet, for his incredible speed and signature blonde hair, Hull was one of the NHL's most electrifying players. Over a 16-season NHL career that began in 1957-58, Hull scored 610 goals, primarily with the Chicago Blackhawks, with whom he won the Stanley Cup in 1961. He also tallied an additional 303 goals during his 7 seasons with the Winnipeg Jets in the World Hockey Association, WHA, from 1972 to 1979. Hull's impact on the game was undeniable, earning him 2 Hart Memorial trophies as the NHL's most valuable player. However, his diagnosis highlights the risks faced by players in full-contact sports like hockey. The growing link between hockey and CTE, a brain disorder caused by repetitive head trauma, can only be diagnosed posthumously. A recent study from Boston University's CTE Center found that 18 of 19 former NHL players whose brains were examined had CTE. The study also concluded that the risk of developing CTE increased by 34% for every additional year of playing hockey. Hull's diagnosis follows those of fellow Hall of Famers Stan Mikita and Henri Richard, both of whom also tested positive for CTE after their deaths. In response to the increasing diagnoses among former players, the NHL Players Association announced in November 2024 the formation of a committee to help players better understand and address CTE-related issues. Research and support for affected families. Dr. Ann McKee, director of Boston University's CTE Center, praised Hull and other players who have donated their brains for research. "We are grateful to Bobby Hull and all of the NHL players and families who are helping us learn how to prevent, diagnose, and treat CTE," McKee said. "We encourage retired players and their families to reach out for help and care if they are concerned about CTE, as we are learning how to effectively treat symptoms, especially in midlife." Hull's legacy extends far beyond his hockey career, as his willingness to support CTE research may pave the way for better diagnosis